Live, guys.
Room, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Welcome to Comic Book Streamland, everybody. I'm here with a couple guys to talk about what happened last week at San Diego Comic-Con. Mr. Calderon, Mr. Hutchinson are here to go over some of these things because Hutch was there, and we're going to pepper the shit out of him with a ton of questions.
Yeah.
No, but before we do that, how you guys doing?
I'm fucking tired.
Yeah,
I've been on the road and doing the con for basically 2 weeks straight.
Right.
And I'm 1 day out. I'm 4.5 hours out of being home.
You're gonna sleep so good when you get home.
Oh my God! I won't see you all until next Friday.
so you slide into a slight coma.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, guys. How you doing, Calderon? Everything good?
It's good. Fulfilling. Fulfilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys keep freezing on my screen. I'm worried about the way my internet service is holding up.
I think that's a you thing because it's all working for me.
Yeah. No,
I'm fine so far.
Yeah, I had Jake Stacks. Where's the wrestling? What's up? We'll talk about some wrestling. We'll go over that. Because it's SummerSlam weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
I haven't watched wrestling in years.
This is SummerSlam weekend, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, my service was acting up since last Friday.
Was it last Sunday? It was hilarious.
I tried starting 3-4 times,
times. It was hilarious. Jay comes on. We ask him the perfect Jay question. What are your top 5 favorite toys? And he's like, blah, blah, blah.
Straight raspberry. Yes. And that's the thing. From the phone, it's like once I entered my area, the phone started acting wonky because I was in the car. I was en route. And then when I got home, the service at home was wonky. So it was the whole area. It wasn't just the stuff I paid for.
Are you T-Mobile?
No, I'm oh my gosh.
AT&T
on the phone, and I'm Optimum. I'm AT&T on the phone, and I'm Optimum.
I'll tell you, if you're going to go to San Diego and you want to run credit cards, you better have your ass on Verizon because nothing else works in that place.
Really?
Holy shit! Yeah.
Well, that's the first.
It was a dead zone. Everybody was on like T-Mobile and Spectrum and shit, and they were like, nothing is working. And I was on Verizon, and I was fine.
Really? Okay. Okay, that's key. I mean, you need that money when you're out there.
Yeah.
So, we'll mix in some of the questions that I got for you with some of the stuff that happened. But would you go back to San Diego, Tom?
Not anytime soon. This was my first time in a decade, and it was more than enough. More than enough. It would be one thing if I lived there, like you lived next to your New York. So I understand that makes it much easier. If I lived there, fine. But to have a 6-day drive and then 5-day show and then 6-day drive back, no, yeah. I'm not doing that again. As far as boothing again, like we talked about in the green room, like I'd go back with my professional badge and just go have FaceTime with people. That way I can just fly out. It's 1-day flight, do the con, fly back. That I could do, but I don't think I would booth again, barring having something going on. Like if all of a sudden it was like, hey, you know what, we're going to announce our movie. Fuck yeah, I'll go to San Diego. But if it's just I'm going out to sell comics and see people, I don't think I'd worry about the selling comics. I'd just go see the people that I want to see.
Gotcha. So you'd have that itinerary set up of the challenges or the goals, that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, the people that I want to see, make sure that, there was but the problem is that sometimes, even if you have that goal, there's so many people that it's impossible. But again, if you have all day long to sort of wait in line or, hey, I'll be back in 20 minutes or whatever, that's much easier. But there were people that I wanted to go see, like artists that I've worked with and people that I talk with on Facebook all the time. And it was just impossible because every time I would leave the booth and I'd go over, it would just be swarmed with people, and it wasn't possible. So I did get to see a whole bunch of people that I wanted to, but not everybody.
Okay, Calderon, what would make you go back again?
Free airline, free hotel, free food, free
Right.
table,
Yeah.
and free shipping.
So basically, as soon as Calderon is transformed into Ryan Reynolds, he's
Right.
going. He's going.
There you go.
Right.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
So pretty much it's not happening for you.
No, because I mean, in the end, I mean, like if I'm going to spend that amount of time, because I have to take off a week from work,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I'd rather go to Paris.
To exhibit or to handle goals on your itinerary.
I don't have any goals in my itinerary.
Okay.
I mean, what am I going to go there for?
But also, I think with you guys, you have New York, and it
Yeah.
really is an equivalent. It's not an exact one-for-one equivalent, but it's very close to being a similar show, and that's in your backyard. So it'd be one thing if you had no New York, and you were like, we have to go to a big con. Then you make that effort. But because you guys have that, and for me, I have C2E2 in Chicago. That's a 4 or 5 hour drive. It's not as big as those two shows either. But if I wanted to go in and be like, I'm going to go be around these people, these named people, I could go to C2E2. That's clearly where I belong if I want to do those shows.
Yeah. C2E2, that's good for you too, right, Marvin? C2E2?
Yeah. I mean, I've never been to that show. I mean, it's another one that I've tried to get into, but they don't give. So I get a creator badge every year, but they don't give a table with the creator badge.
Right.
Like MegaCon does. MegaCon, you get a creator badge, you get a table.
I mean, I could do C2E2.
Yeah, Chicago. It's not
Yeah.
that far.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jay, I got something interesting for you.
Mhm.
It has more to do in New York than it does San Diego. So remember how so they didn't have any space for you in a small press anymore, right?
Right.
So they moved you to a larger booth, obviously
Right.
more funds,
Right.
right? So I was talking to a friend of mine about that. He said, "Oh, that's interesting." He said, "Let me go look at something." So he pulled up a map.
Yeah.
From New York Comic Con for 2016, I think he told me.
Okay.
And he looked at it. He says there was 112 spaces
Okay.
for that space,
Small press, yeah.
small press. And then he looked at this year's map, 2026. He said there's only, I think he said 46.
No, 24, brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I still got the map on here.
All right. But and then he said the rest of it was converted to regular tables, like
Mhm.
regular booths.
You see that? You see that orange block right there?
Yeah, that's the small press area.
That's the small press area, and that is 6 times 4.
That's 24 right there. Yeah,
that's
I don't know where you
24.
got it. All right. So, I mean, considering that we went from 112 to less than a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think they're just trying to squeeze out the small press altogether.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Because you can't get into Artist Alley. There's like 700 tables in there or 600 tables. There's some ridiculous number of tables in there, but they only want guys from Marvel and DC or ladies, right? And the rest of us are screwed, man.
Yeah. But for the space that they can do, for the space that they can rent 2 10 by 10s, they can get 3 small press tables out of it and make more money.
They don't. It's not about the money. They don't care about the money.
Yeah,
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. What they want is the right people that they want on the floor.
Right.
And if they can reduce small press and add more brands to the floor of whatever brand that is, that's more valuable to them.
Well, they like a brand is they're going to pay more money and they're going to bring more foot traffic. So it's about how many people are coming into the show to see Jay versus artists from Marvel or DC,
right?
Or the Labubu vendor.
Oh, that's
right.
It. Or the Funko Pops.
Multiple Labubu vendors, right?
Vendors.
Right, and the Pokemon vendors had a bigger footprint at New York Comic Con last year than they ever did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like I will suggest Heroes Con, because they balance it out properly.
Okay.
Like you'll have your Chris Claremonts, but you also have the Marvin Wins, and I don't feel like I'm being pushed aside for anyone at that show.
I heard a lot of good stuff out of Heroes Con this year. Mostly positive. Mostly positive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's the very last of its breed almost, and that kind of show, because the other ones, they doesn't exist in that format anywhere except for Three Rivers Con here, where it's creator focused and it's not who's the new celebrity or the voice actor or the actor for this or John Cena, or that's Steel City, where they bring John Cena, and they got Bootsy Collins coming to the Steel City Con this year. I mean,
well, look, it's not just that, brother. It's not just the big cons like that. Calderon, what was it, 2 weeks ago? He got the turn down notice from James Tinian's convention, which I won't mention the name, but
Bodega.
Bullshit fucking name, bro.
I mean, it is infuriating. I'd have probably been the only Puerto Rican there who actually worked in a real bodega. My father owned one. My father owned several, actually, in Brooklyn. And I worked there probably from the age of 12 to I was like 24, 25 when I stopped working there. You know, so I mean, I'd have probably been, probably the only person that actually worked in a real bodega.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to think that, and it's probably why they ask for your social media. They're looking at just like, oh, this person's only got 500 followers. Who cares about that?
That show is completely different, because my same friend who looked up that information for New York Comic Con, he says most of the people are in there alt comics, so alternative comics.
Yeah,
it's not an independent comic book convention. It is a convention based on alternative comics. So if
which one?
Alternative. This is Bodega Con.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're not part of that crowd, you know, looking to be in with Fantagraphics or Top Shelf or any of those companies, you understand, they pretty much don't want you. Just like if you tried to get into Mocha's turned. I mean, I haven't looked, but you know, Daphne's told me that they've basically turned it. It's always been alt, always, but now, since it was taken over by the Society of Illustrators a number of years ago, it's become an art festival, right? It's not really a comic book convention. So you have people there selling stationery and that sort of thing. So it's not really a comic book convention anymore.
Right.
You know,
what's that? There's a super alt independent comic book shop that used to be on Metropolitan and made the Geek News last year because it was getting priced out of their spot in Brooklyn.
There's
Island Trees or something.
They're like a block down.
Right, and this is a indie alt shop that prints up their own stationery, that prints up their own wrapping paper. Right. So that's the kind of place that you're talking about that would be featured at Bodega. So, guys, where do we stand anymore besides HeroCon? If we can't get a footprint in the big shows, and the trendy shows that we should be a part of don't want us, where do we go?
Bookfest. Bookfest 1,000 times Bookfest.
There's plenty of cons that you can get into. Plenty. I get invited to cons all over the Midwest every year. But you have to show, just like anything else, you have to show why, to some degree, you have to show why you're worth the space. Because if they are going to give you space as a comic book guy, they have to be like, okay, I'm giving that to this guy, which means I can't have this guy that would have that spot. Whatever it is, whether it's a Pops guy, a toy guy, another comic guy, or whatever, you have to be able to show like, okay, why am I giving you this space? Now, I'm talking about invitations, giving you the space. You can go and still buy spaces, you know, but these places are still going to vet who they're putting in there, and they're going to want like, well, this is what my attendee base is looking for. They don't want XYZ, so we're not going to put this guy in there. But there are still places that, well, at least, again, I'm in the Midwest, so I'm only talking about my zone. What New York and New Jersey and Maryland and all that looks like, you know, I have less experience with. But, you know, you have Baltimore Comic Con, which is a very comic-centric con still. So, you know, look into that one, Artist Alley there. You can still do it, but you've got to be pushing and sort of pimping yourself to a degree that they're like, yeah, let's if only, yes, let's let this guy buy a booth. But over time, if you can then get to know the promoter and he understands what you're trying to do, and be like, yeah, you know what, we'll make you a guest.
You got to become an attraction, right?
So
You got to be a draw.
Yes.
You got to be able to sell tickets,
right?
to get that
Which is one of the things that I was sitting there thinking about at San Diego. Sitting there in this booth, I was at the AP booth, and I'm looking out at all of these fucking ridiculous, built-up, crazy, batshit booths, and I'm like, why aren't we, as small press, doing that at our little cons? Why aren't we telling everyone in the convention that we are the big fish in this small pond versus, hey, I got a booth, here's my banner? Like, why aren't we coming in and going kaboom and making your space absolutely undeniably the place to be on the floor, even if it's a small show?
Yeah, Ted Sakura is good for that, where he builds up his banners up to as high.
Yeah, but that's still just putting up banners.
Yeah,
you know, which is fine.
You're talking about an experience.
Talking about an experience.
Yeah.
Talking about some aspect
did you guys
of an
see
experience.
What's his name? Zombie tramp guy. What's his name?
Dan Mendoza.
Yeah, damn. Did you see his booth, whatever show he was at, where he had like a you could walk into the booth and he had each section was for each one of his characters inside the booth.
Okay. Let's hit some of the comments, because we got 26 people in the we had 26 people in the room with us. Please, if you're watching, just say what's up, and we got people chiming in over here. DM Ray, yo, what's up, brother? How we doing? William is asking Calderon, going back a little bit, what about everything? What about everything's free, but you got to cosplay all 4 days, Calderon? Would you still go?
It depends on the cosplay.
Rod the Rican Comics, what's up, Rod? Thanks for joining us. Yo, guys. Marvin just responded to Rod. Thank you. Jumpe, how about Unstoppable Fest? Don't be afraid of success, guys. You know, it's funny, brother. I did run a convention as a promoter here in Brooklyn, New York once. There's always a possibility that can come around again. It's something I've floated around with the guys.
Five Star Comics, they do a show in Ohio.
Yeah. Do they get a lot of foot traffic?
It looks like it, but I mean,
good.
Yeah,
good.
DM
Ray,
they get a sponsor for one of the shops. So.
That's what you need, right? What about outside the box cons? Horror cons for Vicky Sticks, furry cons for Critter, fantasy cons for Oswald. I say yes to the horror cons for Vicky Sticks.
The answer to that is yes. However, you still have the same issue of people not knowing what the fuck you have, right, and going, "Oh, that's cool. See ya." Right. Because it's not what they're there for. So yes, I'm not saying don't do it. We've done horror cons and stuff like that. You can do it, but you still have that sort of awkward, attendee base that's not there for comic books.
I mean, it's all about upfront promotion and them knowing that you exist as a thing before you go to the show.
Damn right. I think I spoke about that in Calderon's a few weeks back. You know, you gotta promote yourself. You gotta make sure that you're that destination, right? So this is not anything new, guys, but it needs to be reminded to us quite often. Here we go. The Mrs. J doesn't need to be convinced to pimp itself out. That's right. We know what I'm going to do in the back room during New York Comic Con. I shouldn't have brought that up. All right. Come to Dallas Fan Expo, September 11th through 13th.
Mario, tell them to give us a table.
Yeah, Mario, tell them to give us a table. Well, you know what? That'd be nice, right? But it's not going
to happen.
I know.
But I will say this. If you have access to promoters in your area, keep telling them you want people at this thing. Because if the attendees are saying, I want Jay Rosario at this thing, and they hear it enough times, especially if they hear it from enough people, that's the only way for that show to go, well, who the fuck is this guy? And why are these people asking about him? and then that gets the wheels, rolling.
Whatchamacallit? Here we go. We got Burks. Thanks for coming back, brother. Tom's talking about creating a small Disneyland for your brand on the con floor. I want to second that. Tom, yeah, he's seconding that. All right.
So it's kind of like the end scene of Revenge of the Nerds when they're shooting off fireworks and they're doing a cymbal band and just everyone is drawn to it like a daggone magnet or a model.
Correct. Right. Well, remember, if you're thinking about what a con is, right, a smaller con, it's everybody with tables, it's everyone with tablecloths, it's everyone with a banner. How do you not be the basic bitch of the ball versus the fucking Cinderella castle, which is what she's talking about right
Damn
here.
Right. That's right. That's right. Artist Daphne says, anime artist Allie Girlies are building goddamn castles on the tables. And then Mario comes back with, I'll look into it. Tom, I don't know if you got to see this, but I saw a video of somebody at Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, that she built a wireframe mini booth for herself, and she was cosplaying as her very own booth. She had somebody working her booth while she was walking the aisles with a little tap pad for payment and her trinkets and stuff on. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's fucked, and it shouldn't be allowed. You're buying a booth. You're not buying aisle space to sell your shit in the aisles.
Right.
A lot of cons will not let you do that. Like they will shut that shit down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened or not. I remember seeing the video. But going back to the whole Disneyland experience, what would you guys think of doing besides the whole Revenge of the Nerds?
Well, that's what it is. It's like what Marvin said. It's like what Mendoza, and I haven't seen Mendoza, but I understand the description of it. Mm-hmm. You have to do something that's not just I've got a table and people are walking by it. You have to be able to set up a space, and this might mean you have to buy 2 spaces, to really create like this type of thing. But you have to create something where people are going to walk into your environment, like at all these San Diego booths, and be within the space of wherever they're looking, comics, art, whatever. It has to be something where they're walking in, they have access to getting the stuff. They can just go up and pick up the book. Oh, let me see this book. Cool. Let me, and so like even for like for a simple example, it's similar to what Mendoza did, is 2000 AD was there, and they had a corner space, and that corner space had 2 tables, not like tables, but like 2 I don't know, like like when you go to a store, they have actual like countertops, right? So they had two countertops that were like going into the corner, so that you had space to walk in front of it, and then they had like a frame kind of going up over it with their stuff. So they just did that within a corner, and you would walk into this space from either direction, and then you'd have a couple people behind the counters and racks behind them. But they had stuff where you could just walk up and like pick up a book like you were at the bookstore. Oh, let me see this book. Okay, put that one down. Pick up this one. And do that one. So it's completely accessible. Let's go in. Let's have this experience. Let's talk to the people that are in there. Versus, well, we're just going to skirt the edges of this thing, making it almost easy to just walk by because, well, I don't care. But once you kind of get them in, then things change. Then they've made number one, they've made the decision to walk in, so that's good. And then 2, once they're in there, they're just swarmed with all of your stuff. And it's, when you're in there, it's not like you're turning one way or the other and you see all this fucking shit from everywhere else. You're in that booth, you're in that experience. It's like a tighter experience versus just seeing banners and shit everywhere.
I mean,
I put it in the private chat if you want to bring it up, Jay.
Well, back in the 90s, Charles Vess, I think it was Charles Vess, the guy from Mouse Guard, maybe, Jeff Smith, and I think it was Colleen Doran, and I think there was a couple other people. They would travel around as a group, and they would get a space at a show, and then they had this thing. It was like a tree canopy that they would put up. So it was like a tree, and then you would walk in to that tree, and it was like this canopy. They had artwork all over it on the inside, and then you would see their tables, and they would all table together, and it was all fantasy stuff, right? So it was all comic book fantasy stuff. So it all aligned with what they were doing, you know.
Yeah.
So they did that. I mean, they did that I think 2 or 3 years. I mean, before they gave it the ghost, but it was like between 96 and 98, 99, somewhere in that area.
So here's the Dan Mendoza booth that Marvin was talking about. I like that. It's a huge standee.
See, and there's nothing difficult about this.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of tables, it's a bunch of banners, it's stuff standing up. But you're sending somebody through an environment that is just it's all you. It keeps them in there, it keeps them occupied, keeps them away from random shit in the aisles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And he's pretty much cutting off everything else that's around him.
That's correct. Because what you don't want is somebody standing in the aisle talking to you and then squirrel.
Yeah.
Like that happens. Yeah. It drives me fucking batshit when that happens. But it does happen. So yeah, so they've created this space where if you're in there, you're in there.
Very cool. And look at that. There's even exit signage. I like that.
Yeah, you have to make it that way. You have to work it so that it's easy in, easy out. Otherwise, you got people crashing into each other. So
right,
yeah, you have to kind of design it in that regard. Yeah,
very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I like that, Marvin. That gives me an idea. I mean, look, we already know I made some adjustments to how I'm going to be laying out the booth for New York Comic Con to take advantage of that space that I'm going to have, and even a standee, that nice cardboard standee works for like a just a photo experience, right?
Yeah.
Can I
sure? Yeah, if it's a very easy thing to do if you don't have a cosplayer. You can just have some standees and people will take pictures with them. When he was when he did his Still Ill Con, he had like 8 of those things and they were just spread out around the con and people would take pictures with them.
I like that. Cool shit. Now I got to price out custom standees. Oh man.
I mean, it shouldn't be that expensive.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
Yeah. All right. So, you already knocked out the question: would you return to San Diego Comic-Con? San Diego Comic-Con as opposed to a regular show. Do you think you're making more money at a regular show or at a big one like this?
You'll make more at a small show probably just because your costs will be reduced.
Right.
Extremely reduced.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So and again, you're gonna have the same effect. You're gonna have people walking by, hey, you want comics? No. So you might as well pay $100 for a booth instead of $1,000 for a booth, right? And get that same response. But at the smaller show, you also have it's far less loud, it's far less busy, as far as like people running into each other. So you have more time to just sort of coax people into your space and be like, hey, let me show you what this is. Versus at San Diego, they're racing to try and get to the other side of the building because their artist is signing or something's going on, and they don't have time to stop for you at a place like that. Where if you're doing a smaller mid-level show, it's less of the like the hectic element for the fans.
Right, and that's why I keep saying the Book Fest is because I don't have to hustle as much as the Book Fest. People at Book Fest want to buy books. And if it's something new they've never seen before, they're ready to just grab everything you've got. Like I've done multiple runs of all 12 books. I've done both trades. I've done the hot sauce and everything else at these book shows, and people eat it up. And then when they see you again next year, they're like, "What else you got?" Because I want more.
So they're more hungry for content. Excuse me. They're more hungry for us, right? New content than anything else at BookCon.
New stuff, yeah. Anything I haven't seen it before, so I want it.
Okay. Were there any people, Tom, that went to specifically look for you out there?
Sure.
Or was
Oh yeah.
everybody-
Yeah. There are definitely people that we're looking for. Yeah.
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 Was that something you put work into, or was that, hey, I'm going to be at the booth and they saw it and they okay?
Super simple. It's just, the month leading up to it, I just kept saying, hey, I'll be at the AP booth. I'll be at the AP booth. 2309. I'll be at the AP booth. 2309. I didn't do anything hard, heavy advertising or whatever, but I just kind of put it out there. Yeah.
How
So,
was it?
Okay.
Well, because I know you were sitting next to the Flaming Carrot guy, right?
He was there on occasion. He wasn't there the whole time. He would show up for like 2 hours and do a signing, and then he'd come back later, do a signing again. So yeah.
How was that?
It was okay, but it didn't accomplish anything for anyone else at the booth. Like whoever came to see him was there for him, and then they would walk away. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But whoever came to see me, or I was also sitting next to Iconic Comics, which is the Kamen Rider guys. Whoever came to see us, we both had similar types of content, so we could sort of cross over a little bit. If they stopped there and then they'd kind of move my way, they'd still see some more boobs, and they'd be like, oh, there's like some more boobs. Okay. And so there'd be like some crossover. But yeah, with like Mike Barron was there for a while, and the Flaming Carrot guy, and then the dude who wrote the Shark book. And they were good to bring people, but they were there for those people and really nothing else. They didn't even care. They barely looked at anything else that was happening.
Right. I think Bob Burden. Is that his name?
Something like that. Yeah. Yes, Bob Burton. Yes, correct. Yes.
Yes. I think that has more to do, like the other conversation we're having, is it's more alternative than it is. And they are different crowds.
So I remember in the video, your walkthrough last week, the Image booth, they had about a 40 by 40, right? They split it up.
Something like that.
Right? Todd had a big presence, and Kirkman had a big presence. And then the other,
it was mainly Todd Toys. Yeah, it was primarily Todd Toys on one side. The other side was Image General, and then like the one end cap was still kind of Image General as far as selling books, but it was focused on Terminal for Robert Kirkman.
Right.
Yeah.
So that setup, do you think a bunch of indies, the same way Calderon was talking about Colleen Duran, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who the other two were.
It was Charles Vest and a couple other guys, but yeah.
Right. Do you think setting something like that up at a show makes you the attraction, like having that big of a footprint?
Yes.
Or do you think you still need the experience on top of the big footprint?
Both. But if you were to put that booth, I mean, it's too big, but if you were to put that booth at a mid-sized con, you would be the big fish in the small pond. You would be an undeniable attraction because of what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I mean, you could probably do something half that size and still be the undeniable attraction in the space. So yeah, because again, remember what I told you was on both of those sides there was a lot of empty space, and that was designed for lines, which we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have lines like that. So if you were to shrink that down a little bit and fill it with a little more product, again, you'd still have that undeniable, like, look at that fucking wall of comics in the middle of this show. But it would be a little more tighter for our purposes. Yeah.
Right. There's a unifying element, I think, coming up in the next few weeks, an announcement coming up in the next few weeks that may be able to open the door for those type of scenarios for the people that are involved in that unifying element. Right.
I'll tell you this.
No, maybe
the year before we went to Aspen, we had a 20 by 20 booth for Big Dog Inc. at C2E2. All the way to having fucking banners hanging from the ceiling. Like, it was like a real honest to God booth. We were the second biggest booth on the floor behind only Marvel Comics. It was Marvel, and then it was us, and then everybody else was half or less of us. This is when Dark Horse was there, Valiant was there. This is when everybody was still doing C2E2. We were an undeniable presence at that show. and we would watch people go by our booth to go back into Artist Alley, like the artists, and you could see the pros, the real people were walking by going, what the fuck is this? Like, even they were looking at us like, who are these guys? What is happening right now? And it was a humongous success. We had a whole bunch of artists there, so they were signing books. We did a pre-release for a book as well. So it came out like a month ahead of time or something, kind of like what Kirkman's doing now. We already did this. You're welcome, Robert. I know you're copying everything that I fucking did. But that's basically what we did. And it was a huge success. And so, but again, that's at C2E2, which is a mid to large size show. So if we were to do that again, like if we were to go into these cons that are like, we want you here, here's space. And I was like, yeah, but I need an island. And I'll bring people. You know, that's the other side. You can't just be like, give me space. You got to be like, give me the space, but we're going to fill it with people. We're going to make it awesome. You know, it's going to be a thing for you guys. It's going to be Big Dog Island. That's what we called it. All weekend we were doing hashtag Big Dog Island. Then you're taking up space, but you're also telling your promoter you're going to make it worth their while with all these extra people and the attention that, you know, it should bring if it's built properly. And I've always wanted to do that again. And I think that's probably closer to happening than a lot of people realize, because it was fantastic. We blew the doors off of C2E2 that weekend. Right. And we made so many connections in the industry. But then, of course, we did our switch not long after that to Aspen, and everything sort of went whammo right into the wall. Right. And we had to do all the Aspen stuff, and the rest is history. But it kind of showed me, as I started to think back to it, it kind of showed me like, we can do this, because that was year 4 for us. That's all it was year 4. And we had that space, and we also did that same space at Wizard World in Chicago as well. We had that same idea, and it didn't go over as well there, but it still worked really well. But C2E2 was tremendous. So I would love to be able to do Big Dog Island again.
Mm-hmm. Check the chat, the private chat, for a second, guys, when you get the chance. Let me show what's going on in the chat. Here we go. Champe says, one learns here in the third world how to read people's gaze. You don't waste your time explaining your story to window shoppers, only potential buyers. Yeah, you never know, but that can always be a tricky situation. You know, sometimes you think somebody's gonna buy, and they just want to be heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, I've been in situations where like someone next to me will get into a 20-minute conversation with someone who's not buying anything. Like, dude, walk on. Let them go, because they're distracting you from what you're supposed to be doing. But then you can also get in a situation where the guy will like, oh, I feel like I took your time, so let me buy something to trying to get your time back for the money that I just stole from you, almost, to a point. Yeah. But again, it's not always about the eye contact. It's about, can you engross that person to make them want to get something? Yes, which is why I cover all the bases. When you don't want that comic, I got something else for you, because you're not getting away. You know, I will hold that person there like until they buy something. Sometimes, like, no, you're not going anywhere now. You wasted my time. Now I'm going to take your money.
Yeah, no, I've encountered that with couples. You know, sometimes you've got the couple where one person is jazzed to be there and the other one is not. The other one is just like, and that's one of the reasons I came up with the pins. I wanted something good looking to be gawked at, so that we got enough time to make the sale on the other end. And best case scenario, they're buying both things.
Well, then you jump into that upsell. So if the person says, "Oh, I'm interested in this thing," and then I'll say, "Okay, so if you get this, this, and this, I'll throw this in," because now that's a getter. Now I've got you tracked in that situation. Like, okay, I'll do that, because it gives them the idea that you're getting a deal when you're not. It's not a deal at all. It's just I make it seem like it's a deal.
Yes. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of highs and lows, a lot of things to learn being an exhibitor at a comic book convention. It's not something that you're going to catch right off the bat, and it's an art, just like making comic
But
books.
you need to do courses.
It's not art. It's a crapshoot, man. This is a fucking crapshoot. Every time somebody walks by the table, you are throwing dice, and you might crap out in an instant, or it might take you 10 or 20 minutes to crap out, and hopefully you can just make a little money along the way. That's a con.
Okay, it's funny. It's a con, right? Yeah. But Marvin, another thing is going there with a team, right? Yeah. And the team knows how to identify those situations. So there's always a code word given to help somebody out of that, drawn out. Hey, that person's not going to buy anything.
Well, I mean, when we do that, but our one buddy, he just won't. He just and we slide over to the side and be like, look at him, man. That dude's been standing there 30 minutes talking about something from the 80s that doesn't mean anything right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just dude, just.
So how do you? All right, guys, at a convention, how do you close that out when you're by yourself?
You don't get absorbed into it.
Okay.
I like when I'm by myself, I don't get absorbed into a long-winded conversation about something that doesn't mean anything at that moment.
Well, but I think there's a flip side to that coin. And I think the answer is that it depends. So, for example, if you have a slow show and somebody comes up and you can get them to stay there for a few minutes, then it doesn't matter what you're talking about, because whoever's walking by doesn't know what you're talking about. And they might be like, oh, that guy's like really listening to this dude. Let me stop and look at what's on this table. And then you can kick that guy to the curb. Then you can be like, okay, and thanks. And then you can move over there. You kind of almost got to do the bait and switch if it's like a slow show. If you've got people coming like all the time by, then you cannot get hung up, because then all of your opportunities are flying by. But if you've got a slow moment, then it doesn't matter. Hey, you like cowboy boots? Yeah, man, cool. And just try and create some attraction at the table, and then you might get a straggler.
We had a term for that back in the day. We used to refer to them as barnacles.
Barnacles.
Yeah, because they would stick on and they wouldn't go away. And it would just be like, shit, dude, get away from my table. But yeah, we would have those. Yeah.
I mean, at what point do you like just invite them behind the table? Just go behind the table. Go.
Well, believe it or not, because sometimes it'll consist of someone who you see regularly, right? And they'll buy stuff from you, right? So if it's that person, I'll be like, yo, listen, I gotta go to the bathroom. Can you just watch my table for a couple minutes?
But at Heroes Con, the guy who was next to me, I didn't even know who he was, but it was all day with people just jabbering at his table all day long on Saturday. I'm like, holy crap. I told him, I said, you should start charging them for the money you're losing right now, because people will walk up and they would look, and they would see him talking and interacting with the person. He wouldn't say anything to that person. They'd be like, okay, and just walk away. I'm like, look, you just lost like 4 sales while I was standing here. You were just like about nothing.
Yeah, I mean, at that point you have to be like, all right, excuse me, I gotta take care of business. And I've done that. Daphne's done it. We do that all the time. It's like, excuse me, I just got to take care of this business real quick. You just do what you got to do. You don't have to be rude, But you do that enough times, they get the hint and they start to move on.
I don't know, because one person who was jabbering with him came back like 4 times.
Yeah, I believe. If they thought the conversation was good enough, why not? They were bored. You got to remember, a lot of people, they come out to be with their tribe, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that is? So they're coming out to be with the people they want to be around, and they want to talk to you. A lot of these people are lonely. So, they want to talk, right?
Yeah.
So, sometimes you get them and it's cool. You just sit down, if it's a slow show, you talk to them for a few minutes. But the second somebody shows up and shows a little interest, but listen, man, give me a minute. I'll be right back. I just want to take care of some business real quick. You just, move on.
We were at Phoenix Comic-Con one time. We had a crew there. Jen Broomall was there with her husband, Shane. And there was a guy who came up and was, talking comics, whatever. And then he was like, hey, let me tell you a joke. Okay, tell us a joke. So he told a joke. And Shane was like, okay, fine. He was like, let me tell you another one. He's like, okay, one more. So he told a joke. Okay, funny. Yeah. Okay, I got one more. Shane goes, no. Listen, here's the deal. You can tell all the jokes you want, but for every joke, you got to buy a book. And so the guy bought a book and told a joke.
Okay.
And Shane said, great. You want to tell another joke? He says, yeah. He says, okay, buy another book. Bought another book, told a joke. Shane says, you want to go again? Guy's like, no, I'm good. But he made 2 sales out of the guy.
That's good. I like that. But see, Chape's chiming in with something we're talking about right now. Sometimes the worst time swallowers are other artists. They go to your place only to talk nonstop and don't seem to care about your sales.
I mean, are they neglecting their own booth while they're over there jabbering?
Probably. I've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but again, it's the same thing. Yo, got to take care of business.
Right.
Talk to you later. I mean,
I've seen partners from other booths leave their partner at the booth to come over to my booth to try to do business, right? Or because there's something energetic happening, or because they drink and their partner doesn't. Little things like that. Try to become the attraction any way you can, right, Tom?
That's it. That has to be the goal. It has to be the goal. Yeah.
So for a big show like this, do you think people who are out there on social media saying, hey, we made this much money, we're doing this great XYZ promotion, activation, do you think they're actually hitting the numbers they're telling everybody that they're hitting? Or do you think they're
totally variable? Some could be yes, others are just going to tell you what they need to tell you. That's the nature of all of this in social media, is it doesn't matter what the reality is. You tell people it's all going great.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with social media, is it's 75% bullshit.
Right.
And then you as the consumer or the watcher or whatever, you have to kind of use your gut as to whether or not you believe what any of these people are telling you.
Yeah, that's why it's a con, right?
I mean, like I can tell you, like in regards to like some exclusives, I can tell you that like the Mondo booth was fucking packed and selling shit and like hand over fist. So I can tell you that. I know that I got one of the last Oz prints for a friend of mine. They were out, and I just happened to wander by the booth when there was no line, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll take a shot at it." Yeah. And they were like, yeah, we got one more. I was like, give it to me. Let's go.
Nice.
But I could look at their shelves in the back of this big built up booth, and that shit was empty. And so, a lot of times, yes, but other times you might kind of get a sense of like, I don't know, man.
Chicanery.
That's not landing necessarily, but yeah, in a lot of cases, very much yes.
Yeah. Guys, we got 21 people right now watching us. If you're having a good time, let us know you're in the chat. Say what's up. Say you're having a good time. Just give me something. Let us know that you're chilling with us. We're cooking out here. We got a lot of good stuff. Why wouldn't you do San Diego again? What would restrict you?
Too many people. It's too many people. It's too many people. It's too much work to set up and break down and get in and get out. You're in a city where parking is just fucking horse shit. It's just the infrastructure. That's all it is. It's just the infrastructure and then the amount of people that are in there. Because again, like even if you're there to be like, hey, I want to go see all these people, like, dude, the air conditioning cannot handle the amount of people that are in there. It is a nightmare when you're wandering through the hall. So you just got to be prepared for the hell of it. Much less boothing. That's like just if you're going to wander around. But if you're going to booth, now you've got all kinds of extra, things to deal with too.
Well, I mean that it would be cost prohibitive for a lot of people.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
The sheer amount of number crunching I did when I was thinking about it, I'm like, holy crap. Is this going to be a sink? And if I don't make the money back, then I'm screwed for the rest of the year.
Well, and you think about just the fact that there are publishers and places that are choosing not to be there.
Yeah.
DC wasn't even there this year. So, it is definitely a place that, can give you value, especially for like a DC, you would think, especially with Clayface and Lanterns coming. They did do some Lantern stuff while we were there, but it was mostly just out in the Gaslamp quarter. They had some stuff set up out there for some Lantern stuff, but you would have thought that like they would do something similar to Marvel and be promoting Lanterns and Clayface, but they were zero on the floor. Lots of smaller publishers that used to be there are gone, or at least they're gone this year. So you're seeing that cost. It's because it's not just the show; it's bringing all your people and bringing all your stuff and paying for your hotel, and it's a thing. So unless it's local for you and easy, that and places like New York, it's just not going to be, cost effective.
Right. So, and that leads to a question. So you're going to a big show like that. And you're on the East Coast, in Midwest or whatever. How are you getting your items to that ship? Are you shipping them and hoping to get there on time? Are you bringing stuff on the plane with you? What's the best method for it?
For me, I've always just floated up the truck and drove out. But again, that's 6 days out from where I live, 6 days out, then 5 days of show, then 6 days back. So for me, this is my job. So it doesn't matter. I'm not like taking time off work or anything. But for anybody else, you'd have to be shipping stuff out and flying and shipping. I mean, that happens all the time. Like stuff gets shipped back. That's totally doable. I've never done it. I've looked into it, but it seems like it makes me nervous. Like you just said, is it going to get there on time? Is it going to get damaged along the way? Makes me nervous. But at the same time, I know that it gets done every single show all the time. So that stuff can be done. You could ship and fly out and save yourself the time. But then you still have all your hotel and all that kind of stuff too. So even without the 6 and 6 of the drive for me, it's still going to cost you money because again, I stayed up at Mission Valley, which it worked really well with the trolley. That was great, but it still cost me $2,000 for 6 days. To be in a Days Inn.
That's great.
I hope you signed up for the rewards program. Man.
I already earned like 8 free nights just off of that.
Yeah. So you're going next year to San Diego, and we're bunking with you. That's the case. No. Coming back to the chat, we got James Burton, Angry Brain Artworks. I've had some very young barnacles. The most challenging for me have been the children's whose dreams I don't want to crush. But you can only talk My Little Pony soul. Yeah. Here we go. We got Burke coming back. I 100% agree with Tom on that. I haven't been in over a decade. Wow. Emilio, what's up, Emilio? DC wasn't there for idiotic reasons. You have a movie that just bombed, a show, and a movie coming out soon, and you're one of the big two. You definitely should be there. The DCU is crap. Oh, wow. And then Ralph, great stuff, gentlemen. Entertaining as always, but very informative, valuable insight and knowledge for the creator. Sitting at home, looking at the social media coverage, it seems SDCC is back to peak craziness from the pre-COVID era.
Yeah, it was. There was no sign of slowdown from what I could see.
Right.
And then they say they wanted things to be bigger next year. So what's that going into?
Yeah. Did they announce some headcount for this year?
Not that I heard, but it was whatever capacity is. It was that.
Yeah.
A lot of people got con crud from that show. Like
really? At least it was con crud, not the
every con you get con crud.
Yeah. Well, no, he was down for 2 days in bed. He couldn't he was that sick.
But Jay, going back to your question, because when Daphne and I would do San Diego, we would ship everything out there.
Okay.
So we would ship upwards of like 10 boxes, right? Now, the thing is at the time I worked for FedEx, I was shipping it ground. these services are guaranteed. They'll tell you 4 days, 5 days, how long it's going to take. Also, I ship them to a hotel that I know that's going to receive them. They may charge me $20 a case to hold on to them, but they'll hold on to them because I'm a guest. They'll hold on to them for a week. I get there, collect my stuff. The other way to do it, especially with FedEx Ground, I think UPS does. If there's a local UPS store, local FedEx office, you can ship them to those places, and they won't charge you any. Well, when I was there, they didn't charge you. It's been a while, but you check with them, see if they'll hold on to the stuff. What if there's any extra fees or whatever? You just ship it to the store. Hold for this client. I'll be in at this date. You got tracking numbers? You call. You understand? Don't be one of these people that just expects the system to work for you.
Mhm.
Call. Do the legwork. Call the store. Say, hey, I'm waiting for this many packages. I'll be there on this date. Hold them for me. And when you get there, don't be a cheap bitch. Tip. Okay? Tip them. Give them $20. You got 10 boxes coming in and you're shipping comics, they're heavy. The guy's gonna come out, he's gonna bring them out to you. He'll probably put them in your car for you. And you'll be like, look, bro, here's $20, man. Go buy yourself lunch. Oh, move on. All right. And trust me, if you come back the next year, he's gonna remember you.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna remember you. Okay.
With $20 tip? Yeah,
Exactly.
I hope so.
He's gonna remember you. And then you just come back. Or even when you come back to ship whatever is left over, you might only be shipping back 3 boxes. But he's gonna remember when you get back, and he's gonna treat yourself a little bit better.
Okay.
So you don't ship to so they have the warehouses set up for this too, where you ship it to the warehouse, and then the union picks them up from the warehouse and brings them to the show.
But they'll charge you an extra $300 because I've done it.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this way, you might have to walk a little bit or take a car, but at least you're getting it done. You're paying a much less fee, a much lower fee for that.
Yeah. That's Con Survival, folks.
Yeah, Comic-Con Survival. So Comic-Con Survival is a big event like this. More for networking than anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scheduled to be there for Comics Pro on Friday, but I didn't learn about it until they sent out their press release, and I was stuck. I couldn't get a room, and I was thinking about, okay, should I just fly down Friday and then come back Friday? And I was like, no way, not 7 hours, not doing it.
Right. You could have split the room with Tom.
At
At least for one day. Shit.
Exactly.
You could have made some money. You could have saved some money.
Yeah.
Burke says, to be fair, both DC and Marvel have sat out before.
Nope. They have sat out of Hall H and not had presentations. But even when Marvel was going through bankruptcy, they had a table. Literally, they had a table. That was the Marvel booth. They had a table. But as far as since this movie period of time that we've been doing in the last 20 plus years, DC has been on the floor. Even when they were just doing comics back in the day when I was there, they had a comic book set up before all the movies started happening. They've always been there.
I remember a few years back, Jim Lee making a big stink about DC not doing a booth at San Diego for the first time in X amount of space. And his biggest gripe about it was that they were never going to get back in. Have they gotten back in since that time?
I don't know when that happened.
Yeah, it was maybe 2 owners ago. Who owned them before AT&T did?
American Online.
No, it was because it was Time Warner AOL for a minute.
Right. And
But they sold.
It's Discovery now. Discovery owns it all now.
So who owned them before Discovery? It was AT&T. Who owned them before?
AT&T. Yeah.
So I think it was the AT&T people. I think it was when they were with AT&T that Jim Lee was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? We need that footprint there." Right?
But,
and
there has to be a reason.
There was a really weird gap in the floor. You could tell they were not there because there was oddities in the space. Like it was almost like they were like, "Yeah, we're not going to do it." And San Diego was like, "What the fuck? Who are we supposed to put in here?" And you get these just random things. It was very strange section of the floor.
I want to go back to Heroin Berg for a second. Hail to the chat. And Rod, Can't stay long as I'm running a concert tonight. Would it be? Would you guys rule? Tom, you're going to be at NeoCon on Sunday?
I don't even know what that is, but I'm not going to be at a con for 2 months.
He's on convocation.
There you go. Burks, I recall a year where they weren't there as themselves, but piggybacking on someone else. Okay. And Emilio chimes back in with, ironic that Absolute Universe is on top and yet DC not on the floor. WB rewards people for failure.
Maybe they feel like they don't have to be there, but I mean, there has to be a reason. And I
Yeah,
mean,
but see, you're not wrong though, and that's why you don't see publishers really almost of any kind at any show anymore, because they've realized that all of their talent is already there. So, they're like, why the fuck does Dark Horse have to be there when Mike Mignola is there, right?
Mhm.
It's like he is Dark Horse. It works that way. You can see that. It's like C2E2 used to have everybody, and now nobody's there. But Artist Alley is filled with all the names from all those books. Yeah. So I think there's a shift in what that stuff. Yeah.
They're leaning towards more is the movie TV stuff. Why are they not promoting their TV shows and movies that are coming out? And as I said, there has to be a reason. And I mean, we probably don't want to speculate, but something's going on in the background there.
Calderon, you were going to say something?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go into the Artist Alley and see all the guys from Marvel and DC and spend $800 on a head sketch.
Yeah.
Some random dude who did some random issue of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and Scott Snyder was there. The people were there.
Right.
So again, like if DC is starting to look at it like all these other brands, they're like, well, listen, all our comic book people are there. So if we're just going to show up to do movie stuff, but I mean, then you look at the Marvel booth, and every time the Marvel booth does something, there's a fucking 1,000 people standing in that aisle and wanting to see it all happen. I remember I was there when Justice League was happening, and they had all the costumes for the Snyder Justice League stuff in glass cases, and that place was packed. People were losing their shit over that. So it's not that DC even, like, we all kind of look at it as like, yeah, DC's kind of fumbling the ball, but the reality is that there are people that like that stuff in whatever capacity, and even if we don't like the gun stuff, there are people that do like the gun stuff. So I think that had they done something there, I think you would have had that booth full of people to do whatever you wanted to do with it. But again, Clayface is a few months out. Lanterns is what, next month?
This month, but yeah, next month, August, yeah.
Yeah. So I would have thought that they would have tried to push that, unless, like Marvin says, they just have a sense of it's not going to work, and they know the Paramount thing is happening, and it's all going to get washed away anyway. So why bother?
It sucks. It does. But what doesn't suck is that we got some books right now on Kickstarter, and congratulations, Marvin, for funding. He fully funded today. Right, but we got Calderon, who's going to be launching a country night in New York City, 1 through 4. When does this go live, buddy?
Probably maybe next Friday.
Okay.
If not, maybe the following Monday. It's the story of a young lady. Her name is Anna. She's a Calcian, and her small town is being attacked by an alien force, and she's trying to rescue as many of them as she can by getting to New York City and bringing in a larger force to help her rescue her people. And then she also discovers that there's much more that's going on beyond that. So, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean? All right. Here we go. We got notifying launch. Okay. And
just push go. Just push it right now.
I have to fulfill the other campaign.
Yeah.
And the reason is I already have the books. I'm gonna pack them tonight, and then I get paid from Kickstarter on Monday, so I don't send anything out till I get paid, and then then I can launch on Friday.
Okay. Nice. Besides Calderon's book, I got something rocking and rolling right now, and we got 9 days left on it. We're running a bit of the struggle bus on this one, guys. Oh, did I share the wrong one? I shared the wrong one. Okay.
Man, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's happening? What's going on?
So we got 9 days left for New York versus World #1, which is full color and remastered. This is part of the Creator trading card set that all of us are a part of. So my second installment is here. If we get funded, or returning backers get a special holofoil trading card added to their rewards at no extra charge. I've got an alternate cover, a variant cover, that is paying tribute to championship basketball back here in New York City. Here's a look at the original pages versus the remastered pages, the remastered full color pages. You can pick up some of the old black and white books there. Other stuff like some Curse of the Dragonstorm, The Dead Princess Vicky Styx, or our character guide. I got 4 shirts that are available in the campaign as well. The last one is also paying tribute to the championship basketball returning to New York City. Here is my card that is part of the Creator Trading Card crossover set. There are also enamel pins that are approximately 2.5 inches that you can add on to any reward. Then there's the usual, hey, what's this about? Who are the creators? Here is the trading card set that I'm talking about. Marvin's is funded, and that's the first one on the top left. Well, pretty much everything on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which are the 2 cards, the 3 cards that I've yet to fund? Mine.
Yeah. All right. So it's my Magi's, the one right in the middle, Magi's Grace. I've yet to release that one.
Got you.
That's my next campaign after Dreamweavers. That'll be in a month or so.
Okay.
Early
All
September,
right.
probably in September or first.
And then one of Rob's, right? The one below that. Yes.
Yep. And I think he might be launching in September too. I'm not sure. I gotta ask him.
Okay. And then there's mine, the one on the right, which this card, this campaign is holding. So if you want to pick up any of the older cards, you can still do that. The late pledges are still available, and the links are also here on the campaign, guys. All right, so we got 9 more days left to go. I got a ton of rewards available for this bad boy, and it's 24 pages, full color. If you hate New Yorkers, you can see them get eaten in the zombie apocalypse. If you like New Yorkers, you can see how they try to survive the zombie apocalypse. We got a little bit for everybody in here.
That's the Elvis way, when you sell a shirt that says I love Elvis and a shirt that says I hate Elvis.
That's what we want to do, brother. That's what we want to do. That's the plan. So both campaign links are in the comments for anybody who wants to get down with it. All right. Coming back to the chat, we got Paige Alfred saying, Marvin, tell them it's time for Phantoms.
Oh yeah, the 20 plus years in the making. The Edge Chess Phantoms was part of the Kickstarter, so it was an add-on. So that will be coming soon.
Okay, Champe, crossovers. Magi's Grace versus the world. Don't be afraid of success, guys. Okay, way to go.
I think everybody should do a versus zombies thing.
I just think Champa is trying to pick up more work.
I think he is too. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if zombies are still hitting anymore, guys.
I mean, in Pittsburgh, man. I mean, after they tear down that mall, I don't know.
Did you get a souvenir brick?
They haven't torn it down yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be until next year, but they keep moving the target. So I don't know. It's everything that happens in this city is really weird. So I'll tell you a quick story and then we can move on. So they recently blew up a bridge here, and they had the new bridge already built. So they just had to slide the new bridge in, right?
Uh-huh. So
they blow the bridge up, they slide the new bridge in, and then there was an unexploded pack of dynamite still attached to one of the struts of the old bridge that went off after they opened the new bridge. That only happens in Pittsburgh. That doesn't happen anywhere else where there's dynamite there and doesn't explode, and then it goes off on its own after people are using the new bridge.
Well, I mean, somebody out there was saying, how do we sell 2 bridges? They figured it out.
Right. So in Vicksburg, over the last 10 years, you've had a bridge collapse with people on it. You've had a bus in the middle of the street that collapses into the street. So I mean, it's stuff going on, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not good.
Bad infrastructure is what it is.
How many people got hurt when the explosion went off on the bridge?
There was a bus and 3 cars, so I think 8 people got hurt.
Damn, man.
And 1 guy broke his back. Everyone else just got scrapes and bruises.
Damn, man.
That's crazy.
Damn. You don't want to hear about that. Man, that's bad, man. That's bad. Champa, all right, coming back to the good stuff. Champa says he's busted for that. Yeah. Yeah, but look, there's some other crossovers that could be happening, right? Guys? Right?
I messaged you the other day because I have an idea for what we were talking about before. So I mean, I'll message you about it.
All right, sounds good. But there's something else that is looming on the horizon.
You're fucking desperate, dude.
Stop begging for more, Oliver.
I'm excited to show it off. I'm excited to show it off. We'll talk about that later. It's a little teaser. I'm just excited.
Oh my god!
But yeah. Anyways, guys, what else do we got? Because we went through a lot of the questions I had for San Diego. Anybody want to chime in with anything else? I also heard about the Absolute Batman cartoon. The MCU dropped a lot of stuff. Ghost Rider, Black Panther, Doomsday. They canceled Blade, but they also canceled Wonder Man season 2, which I'm surprised it got a season 2.
I have not been excited about an announcement of a Marvel project for years. And when it started floating around San Diego about Ryan Gosling, I was like, but we've heard this for so long, guys. And then it hit and it was real. I was like, fuck yes. Give me this. I am ready for this. Not only just that I like Ryan Gosling, I like him in the role. I think he's going to be Danny Ketch, but even if he's Blaze, that's fine. I like the idea that they have found a way, theoretically, to move into a different phase of Marvel. So it's not just all these fucking Avenger movies again. We can finally do, hopefully, the darker side of the MCU.
But did you see the other news that came out today?
Which one?
Samara Weaving has been cast as.
Is that official?
It's official.
Okay,
official.
Yeah. And they're the word is that they're going to announce the X-Men cast at D23.
Yeah. Do you want to know something? I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't, and only because we've done this before. We've already done the X-Men 2 times. I've enjoyed them, in their own rights, but I don't really care about the X-Men at this point. I want something I haven't seen. Yes, we've seen Ghost Rider, but I feel like this is going to be much, much better than the fucking 2 movies.
Right, but I think that where they're sitting at right now is that they're chasing Phantoms, and that they're looking for that next big Avengers type thing.
Yeah.
And X-Men is that big.
X-Men's it. No question. Yeah. But what I would hope for is that we don't just get a Ghost Rider movie. Let's say it's successful, and then they're like, yeah, but now it's time for the X-Men, and they throw it away. You know what I mean? Like, do your X-Men, but if Ghost Rider is successful, run with it. Just fucking run with it. Whether it's a trilogy of Ghost Rider, whether you're doing other, Werewolf by Night and shit putting into it, whatever you're gonna do. Like, don't just do it and throw it away in place of the X-Men.
Yeah.
I got one request for Ghost Rider. You don't got to show me anything but the skull. I don't want to see the spine. I don't want to see bony hands. Put gloves on. Save the money. Save the money on the special effects for giving me bony hands. Right? Just put gloves on them. Give me the whip chain on fire. But give me a nice, just the fucking head. You don't need any filler in here at all. Just put fucking fire. put fire and give it a nice full body Danny Ketch Ghost Rider motorcycle fucking outfit that looks like it gets stomped the shit out of you. You know, not Evil Knievel, Johnny Blaze. Sorry. I'm a Danny Ketch fan. I know a lot of people were Johnny Blaze, but for me in the 90s, you know, those Mark Teixeira covers were just fucking eye grabbing, you know. He was perfect, right? For me, he was perfect for Ghost Rider. But I don't know why it wasn't, you know, a top 10 book.
It was. Are you kidding?
You sure?
That book sold like wildfire. Yes, sir. Wildfire. It was huge at the time.
You sure? Because
dude, yes, that is why the Midnight Suns existed, is because that was so popular that it exploded off into everything else that they were doing. Yeah.
Well, we got Amelia says yes, Midnight Suns was awesome. Yeah. William, they can still do a Midnight Suns with Ghost Rider and Blade. Blade is canceled, bro.
Yeah, but they can if Ghost Rider works, it reopens the door for Blade. Even if he doesn't get his own movie, he can exist in the
but Mahershla's talking smack about it.
Yeah, fuck that guy then. Get him out. Who cares? If they can recast Black Panther, they can recast Blade.
Oh, I think after the long walk, I think David Johansen is a great casting choice for the future Black Panther. Danny is my writer as well. Give me Danny. Damn right, James. The October Marvel solicits kind of give me a hint that Gosling is playing Ketch as well, even though they killed Danny last year, right?
But this is who's dead. They all come back, dude. It doesn't mean anything. Plus,
right?
It's all demon shit and whatever.
Yeah.
Dead. Yeah. Give me a break.
Okay, how about Creatures versus Creatures Grace versus the World? Jump in. We're working on something, baby. We're working on something. And the Blade was canceled for now. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just for the Wonder Man thing, hopefully that is just Destin getting something bigger because of the money that Spider-Man is bringing in, that they're just going to say, okay, what do you want to do instead of this? We're going to give you this character, you run with it. And hopefully that's what that is. Let the creators create, and you see if you let creators create, what happens.
Yeah, let's count down with the Spider-Man spoilers yet. I'm not gonna.
No spoilers. It's just going to you're
gonna see it tomorrow
at the box office is what it's doing.
Right. Well, I heard that Steve Wacker or Dave Wacker? Steve Wacker was out on the floor talking to a bunch of talent, saying, "How come I'm not working with you? What can we do to fix that?" Could Marvel be turning the page and letting the creator speak and not letting it be editorially driven anymore?
That has its dangers too.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to remember there was a reason why Jim Shooter changed it, right? It's because certain editorial people got their way, weren't allowing in new people. So that's why he mandated if you're an editorial, you can't write for us. Right. Or write the same book. Right. So there were reasons why they did that. Now, it all depends on their editorial staff. It also depends on how much money they're willing to roll out.
Yeah.
In years past, Howard Chaykin taught a writing class to a lot of the writers who worked at Marvel. They would come in, he would head up the course, and he'd be like, all right, let's do this. Similar to like what Scott Schneider was doing over at DC for a few years, right?
Right.
But the problem is that, with Scott's course, when he accepted the people they initially accepted, there were some good names in there. There was some not so great names in there. But, what came of it? You know what I mean? It was just like, well, these people aren't really good. It's a pot shot. It's a crapshoot anyway, no matter how you cut it. And where are they pulling people from? So yeah.
I mean, there's only one place to pull people from. Well, two. You're either pulling them from the indie market or from the novel market, and they already tried the novel market.
No, one of the places they were pulling a lot of people from was NYU. They would get all the young guys who were coming in, or all the young people that were coming into the writing courses, into primarily film, and they would bring them in because they were already writing scripts. So,
DM Ray, Danny Ketch, have Johnny chase him. Okay. William Gosling always liked Johnny Blaze and could possibly act with his wife Eva Mendes, who was in the Cage Ghost Rider. Yeah, the Cage Ghost Rider, dude. Yeah, man, that was a tough one to swallow. I'm sorry. That was a hard one. I hope they don't go that route. But yeah, could it be opening up the dark corner of the MCU? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've already got Werewolf by Night, you've got Moon Knight, you've got Doctor Strange. These are all working pieces for Midnight Sun stuff. And then you take Ghost Rider and it blows the doors open if it works.
But Marvel is talking about, there's a rumor about a reset coming.
For the movies? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after Secret Wars, like it'll be a soft reset because some of the characters will carry over into the new universe. But this is going to be the X-Men's world.
Right. Do not insult the Cage. I'm sorry, Bergs. I won't do that one.
So what's the story with the Netflix thing? So it was a movie that he was in, and it was Netflix had a flash drive or something that was stolen. Now the guy's suing Netflix.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, but it's $105 million. That's like pocket. Like they reach into like in between their sofa, and they reach in there and they pull out some change. And like, here you go. Go about your business.
Cage's movie got stolen off of a thumb drive? What?
Yeah, there was some European guy. He was a writer, director, entrepreneur. He had shot a movie, a World War II movie, and Nicolas Cage is, I guess, the lead actor in it. And he had sent it over, I guess, to get reviewed by Netflix to see if they wanted to pick it up. And apparently, I guess they had something happened, and that file was stolen from them.
But that wasn't the original?
Well, it's a digital file of the movie.
Okay. Digital file. Right. Okay. No, because why would he
complain that he can't now? Because he wants to sell it to a studio, and he can't because now someone can just watch it for free.
Right, because it's got, I guess it's gone on pirate sites or whatever.
Yeah.
Got you. Sorry about that. Okay. Raymond McKay, what's up? Super late to the party, but I had a blast at SDCC. Where'd you go, bud? The Mighty Crusaders panel was so fun. He was out there networking. He wasn't running a table, but he was a panelist. So way to be on that. The director was not doing what they were supposed to do, and now they're trying to claim Netflix was responsible. Yeah,
Netflix is like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally pocket change for them.
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to pay.
Who knows? I mean, he's going to sue them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. They'll say sue us, and then now he has to get money for a lawyer and everything, and then he'll be broke. So
he's an entrepreneur. They say he's actually. My understanding, he's wealthy. So he already spent $45 million on the movie. He just might as well spend another $5 million to sue the shit out of it.
Raymond, no table for me, but the panel went great. Usually have like 40 people, and you got over 100. Way to go, man! That's a good turnout. I'm still waiting to see if my panel got approved for New York Comic Con. They said that they were going to let us know on the 31st. Either that was a no, or I'll find out on Monday. Hopefully, I'll let you guys know about that next week. Guys, we hit the hour and a half mark. We didn't even do a top 5, but that's because we had a lot to go over. So I want you to let everybody know where they can find you, starting with Mr. Calderon.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'll be back on Sunday with these fine gentlemen, or at least a couple of them. Yeah. At some point with Marvin, probably interviewing a retailer. Find another one, Marvin. Find another one. Another victim.
I got a whole list.
All right, good. Roll them out. What else? And pretty soon back on Kickstarter. So.
All right, way to be. William wants a top 5 trailer at SDCC. I think everybody went the same list, but Marvin, where can they find you, brother?
I'm on Facebook, on the Instagrams, on the Blue Skies, on Substack, at The Edge Comic. Hit me up on any of those channels, or theedgecomic.com or comicsburg.com.
All right, way to be. Tom, hit him up.
BigDogInc.com. We'll be launching the next Oz in about 2 weeks. And I'll be doing 2 more cons this year. September, I'll be in Monroe, south of Detroit. And then in November, we'll wrap it up in Akron.
All right. Way to go. Way to go. And you can find me at unstoppablecomics.com, at the New York Comic Con, booth 1971, this year, October 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And for the next 9 more days on Kickstarter with New York versus the World #1. The comments will have all of the links for the books that we went over tonight, guys. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. And hopefully you see us next week. Later.
Have a good night.